Good YouTube, Chris from Team Innovation here, bringing you guys a 150th YCS video. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about what are the basically top 8 decks you should expect at the event, and go over a few side deck choices for you guys to be teching in your side decks if you guys are going to the event. So without further ado, let's begin. Starting off by saying, I know a lot of you guys were hoping that I was going to 150th YCS, but due to a lot of personal life issues, I will not be able to make the event. So I'm gonna help out my subscribers, all of you guys that are going to this event, and hell, even if you guys are going to nationals, I believe this video will help you out. I'm gonna go over the top 8 decks, what I think is good about them, bad about them, etc., and tech cards you guys should be deciding. I'm gonna go over a whole tutorial, a little mini tutorial for this video. So without further ado, let's begin. I'm gonna talk about the first top 4 decks of the format. The top decks of the format was the top 5. Top 5 used to be BAs, Satellites, Cleave, Dolls, and Necros. Now, the way the format is shaping up, BA got knocked down ever since Tour Guy got hit the 1. Deck really ain't doing nothing. It might top here and there. It did top Chicago, and it had a few day 2s, but with the consistency of Cleave going up with lose turn and entire stick cheer combos, Star Seraph, BA is honestly pretty much a dead deck. So BA got knocked down to a rogue deck in my personal opinion, and now the main deck you guys have to worry about is Necros, Dolls, Satellites, and Cleafor. So I'm going to start off talking about Necros. What's good about the deck and what's bad about the deck? What's good about the deck, it's really consistent, and you guys already know, it's pretty much almost every hand is a good hand for the deck. The deck rarely bricks. Like, the only time the deck bricks is when it's side decks and Dinkos and the Royal Decrees, the stuff it needs to out the floodgates like Dark Law, Macrocosmos, D-Fisher, etc. So the deck is honestly really great, but once again, it kind of just dies the floodgates. Like, Dark Law can pretty much outright just waffle stomp Necros if protected with a Mirror Force, Phoenix Chain, and God forbid you have the Dark Law, excuse me, God forbid you have the Dark Law Mind Crush combo where you can just after the Dark Law's effect chain Mind Crush. Mind Crush card they just had, look at their hand, they shuffle their hand up and pick a card out their hand. It's so good. It's a -2 for them. But yeah, Necros is really great, but going into game 2 it has consistency issues. But the cards that they are having consistency issues can actually help win the game. So my shout out for my way I want you guys to play against Necros going to this event. Game 2, always change your cards during their standby phase, and or when they do the little main phase 1, main phase 2 things after the card right away. So if you have a floodgate like Vanities, if you have to chain a Compulsive monster they have on board, just do it, because they will activate summon Dinko Seka and just wreck you. And the same can be said like flipping over something like a mistake. Just do it during their standby phase. Don't even try to wait going into game 2 or 3, because they will try to get over on you and summon the Dinko. But once again, you can also benefit because they do side in like 2 to 3 Dinkos. Some builds main the Dinkos. I don't think people are going to main Dinkos at the event, because I feel like everyone's expecting a lot of Necros. But yeah, make sure you chain the things during standby phase. Now, enough about Necros. I go more into the tech side deck choices for the deck later in this video. You have to worry about Shadows. Now, Shadows, this is something really crazy because there's like 2 variants running around right now. You have the Dinko, well, 3 variants. You have Dinko Dolls that was popular back in the day. You have the standard Shadow that's just basic. It runs Pero, and it's pretty much a pure build. And then you have the Star Seraph Shadows. The main builds that are doing great right now are the Star Seraph and the pure build. So honestly, all you can really do is buy Shadows. The deck is really powerful, so unless you're playing the deck yourself or playing another meta deck, you should be pretty much good to go. But if you're not playing Shadows and you're playing like something like Necros or something, be ready to have your Shadow Mirrors ready. Be ready to have your Royal Commands if you don't own Shadow Mirrors. And honestly, just you gotta prep, because if they have that, if you're playing Necros and they have that Lilith card, you're gonna be in a bad position. So I think honestly, Double Dark Hole Regeki should be probably standard. Well, actually, nah, Necros actually plays Book of Eclipse, so. But having extra floodgates in your deck, like siding in Dark Holes game 2 and 3, which it could be pretty good and beneficial to you. Mainly because, like, they do recycle their fusions back. I mean, not the fusion, but the actual cards that they use to make the fusion back is getting the threat out of the way allowing a lot of Necros players to follow with Trish playing, etc. So Shadows is honestly a tough nail to crack because they can do so much. They can make a mistake, but the thing about Shadows that is kind of bad, especially in the mistake builds, the builds that were a mistake. Once again, consistency issues. They can pretty much brick. They can open up mistake. Like I was playing a local the other day. It was a guy opened up like double mistake, MST, El Shadow fusion, and I was just pushing damage. Like he couldn't even do anything. So that Shadows have some consistency issues going to game 2 and 3, depending on what their matchup is. But the main thing you have to do is this: make sure you're having ways to out their fusions. Defusions is another great card as well. So yeah, make sure you guys prep for Shadows, and make sure you guys are familiar with the certain variants of Shadows. There's so many of them. The top direct thing off my head is Dinko Dolls, the standard pure Shadows that run Pero. If you haven't know Pero, it's that Earth Dog that when your opponent takes damage, you can banish them and blow the monster. Well, when you take damage, and then it's the new Star Seraph Shadow. But you're probably going to see a lot of Star Seraph Shadows, so yeah. Also, Forbidden Chalice is good against that. Next up, Satellarknight. So you guys already know Satellarknights will be at the event. 2 variants running around, pure Satellarknights and Star Seraph Satellarknights. I think more pure variants that are doing greater over the Star Seraph variants. I guess people aren't catering to the OCG playstyle, but make sure you guys are familiar with both of those variants. Thing about Satellarknights, they do have a lot of back rows. So if you are playing a deck like Shadows or Necros, make sure you have your Dinko Sector ready. Make sure you have your Royal Decree ready. Or even if you're playing a road deck, make sure you have something ready for their onslaught of back row. Me and a subscriber of mine, that also a pretty good friend of mine, Mayor, we're talking about for our hero decks to have your Blackhorn of Heavens, and that's due to the fact that Blackhorn of Heaven is a great way to out their XYZs, because if you think about Satellarknights, the main thing is getting used to XYZs. I was personally thinking, can't think of the card right now. Crap. It is Pulling the Rug. There we go. Because it hits the monsters on a normal summon, and I based my theory on the old format where it's like if you activate double warning, you pretty much won the game. It's the same concept if you're playing against Satellarknights. You summon their monster, activate Pulling the Rug, and you get rid. Negate 2 of their summons, you pretty much be in a good position. But they run Call of the Hunted, so the card's not really great. But having the access to Blackhorn of Heaven is really good because it doubles for your Klee matchup, which I'm going to talk about in a second. And it gets rid of their XYZs, which is the most threatening thing. Honestly, the most threatening thing in the deck is Trivier, so yeah. The Star Seraph build, they have consistency issues, but they have explosive plays, so Max C is really great for that build. You also have other things like Effect Veiler. Not a fan of Veiler, but if you're playing Dogs, Veiler is great. Yeah, Forbidden Chalice. I like Chalice because Chalice is good, so yeah. So Satellarknights, there's not really a lot you can do. I mean, I know the Mirror Match likes to play Stygian and Dirge, but also other good things you can do is Light Mirror. I'm not a fan of Light Mirror, but I am a fan of, once again, stuff that stops the summon. So Pulling the Rug, Blackhorn of Heavens. A lot of people are using Chaos Trapo right now, so yeah, those are great cards that should be able to help you out in the Satellarknight matchup. And last but not least, for the top 4 decks of the format, Kleeford. Now, with the rise of Cross Souls, Kleeford got the power of Lose a Turn. And Lose a Turn is a great card, and it pretty much summons when an opponent special the monster, or when a monster special in, effect gets negated, it goes to defense mode, and etc. So it pretty much, the deck doesn't special summon anyway, so it pretty much just stuns your opponent and put them in a good position. If you guys don't already know, great side deck options for this deck is the hands. The hands is pretty much wreck Kleeford because Fire Hand pop the monster, Ice Hand pop their back row. I'm leaning more towards Twister right now. Twister is a great card as well. Twister, when you summon your card and they flip over you a turn, you can chain Twister just like you would chain MST, and that'll blow up their floodgate, and that allows you to continue your plays. Some people also that run slower decks like to run things like, what's that card called again? Trying to think of Fairy Wind. There we go. A lot of people like to run slower. They like to run slower decks, like to use Fairy Wind. So Shadows can be a good deck to utilize Fairy Wind, and that's due to the fact that Shadows ain't really that explosive first turn. So if you can go set your Shadow monster, set your LSR fusion, set the Fairy Wind pass, they set up their skill. Later in the game, flip over their lose a turn. You try to make a good push. You can chain Fairy Wind, blowing up all their back row. But for faster decks, I like Twisters. I like the MSTs if you're not maining them. And then Spell Shattering Arrow, but I guess Spell Shattering Arrow is kind of irrelevant now because they only have, what's that card called again? Their Klee spell is only at once, so it's not really usable. But yeah, definitely for everyone in Twisters, the hands should be good to go for that matchup. And yeah, like I said before, Black Hornet Heaven utilizes as a second tool for that matchup. So there is instances where they want to pendulum summon. You can Black Hornet Heaven, I believe. The ruling is they all go to the graveyard. Now, they all go back to the extra deck, but you stop all of them coming out for the turn. Now that we talked about the top 4 decks you guys should be expecting to see at the event, let's talk about some of the rogue decks, the top 4 rogue decks you guys should expect to see at the event. Now, starting off with Burning Abyss. Now, I consider Burning Abyss a rogue deck due to the fact that the deck hasn't really been doing anything in this format, and only people who are skillful with the deck have done anything. Same thing at locals, and same thing at all around on the regional scale. Burning Abyss is a deck that you guys already know. Summon Special Limit Dante, it can stall out, it can make Dark Claw if they play Match Change too. For this deck, honestly, all you have to do is make sure you out the tour guide, you're in a good position. Once again, if you have Black Hornet Heaven in your side deck or Chaos Trap Hole, you're good to go. Stopping their Dante plays is more critical now due to the fact that they don't have the tour guide to continuously recover. So all they have to do is burn through their monsters, and they lose out of the hand. So having things like Max Seeds in your side deck is really great. And yeah, you should be good to go. The Burning Abyss honestly is not that threatening, in my personal opinion, more. Then also the flood big destruction cards like Regeki, Dark Hole, Deep Prison. If you guys still play Deep Prison, it's pretty good. So yeah. As far as another rogue deck you guys expect to see, Yosenju definitely. Yosenju with release of Crossover received. A decent stall monster, can't think of his name. I think his name Onisenju or whatever. Basically, you pitch your Yosenju monster from your hand, special summon him to the field, and he can pretty much copy and attack a monster that's attacking him. Pretty much a good way to stall out for this. Yosenju guys could just go summon, pop a fag, attack directly, KG no re. Make sure you guys have a way to out those. So pretty much all you really need is make sure you're maining 2 to 3 finish chains, breakthrough skills, and you're pretty much good to go. Fake Veiler can help you out in that matchup, so they won't get their second summon off. And yeah, it's pretty much standard. Breakthrough skill is really good because you can stop their monster on the first summon. They have to end the turn. If they bring out the big guy, on your following turn, you can remove breakthrough skill, negate the guy, and just ram everything. So yeah, Yosenju's not that great, but it is a threatening deck when they're trying to push in damage for you. And this is also another reason why I like pulling Rub, because not only is it good for your Southern Night match, but it's also good for your Yosenju match. I hate to say it, but Heroes. Heroes is my favorite deck, and I'm not saying I hate to say it because I want, I think Heroes is bad. I hate to say it because I don't want Heroes to lose, but yeah, Heroes is another road deck you guys have to look out for. The deck is really good. Hero Lives is pretty much a +1. Hero Lives, your Shadow Mist that adds Mash Change to your hand. It's the first turn Dark Law. Or it could be a +3 because you can set, or +2 because you can set that past Mash Change, and you can add a Blaze Man or Alias, whatever your preference is to your hand, and you benefit everything. The weakness to Heroes is though Effect Veiler hitting your Shadow Mist and Effect Negation in general is pretty much over, but a lot of hero players like myself are main decking MSTs, we're main decking the Lancers, so the main thing we're scared of is Effect Veiler on our Shadow Mist, but then again, we do main deck 3 copies of Mash Chains, and some builds are main decking Mass Shard, so Veiler don't always hurt us, but depending on the kind of hand we have, Veiler can hurt, so make sure you guys have your Veilers ready for Heroes, and you pretty much should be good to go, but don't count the deck out because the deck is truly something that you guys should be worried about, because the deck can really floodgate out the entire top 4 decks, with the exception of Klee, because Lose a Turn can pretty much screw over Dark Law. And last but not least, the last deck I'm going to talk about, especially that's Rogue, is Ritual Beast. The deck is really annoying. If you're playing a deck that don't banish this, like if you're playing Doll and Satellarknights and Klee, or any other Rogue deck, having your Imperial Iron Walls to pretty much take care of that matchup. The deck tags in, tags out all the time. I'm a big advocate of having Solemn Warning in the main deck. Stopping their summons is really good as well. And yeah, all I can really think about is Imperial Iron Wall. You guys be good to go for the deck. Make sure you're familiar with what the deck does and analyze it to a T so you're caught off guard of it. The deck revolves around their trap cards, so make sure you're not just trying to explode in the field, and they have a bunch of ritual beast monsters out, they can blow up every monster in your field. So you guys have to be on the lookout for that type of stuff. So yeah, just get familiar with the matchup, side in your pair of Iron Walls with Scatter deck, and you should be good to go. So with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be give it a big thumbs up, show support. As always, comment down in the comment section below what you guys thought about this video at hand. And of course, I do these videos. I truly believe in helping you guys become better players. And also do these videos. I truly believe in you guys helping me become better players. This is Chris from Team Innovation, and I'm signing out. Have fun with the 150 YCS guys, and I'll see you guys at Nationals. Peace.